Everyone, welcome back to Everything Swift. Today we'll be tackling Leetcode question 739 titled Daily Temperatures. We're given an array of integer that represents daily temperatures, and we're supposed to find um, how long does it take until the next day that's hotter, right? So I think this example is pretty good to understand what the question wants. So on the first day, uh, the temperature is 73 degrees, right? And then the next day is 74. If we look at the output here, it's 1, right? So how long does it take for this day to experience a day hotter than it is today, which is the next day, tomorrow, right? 74. So there's 1 day. How long does it take 74 this day to experience a day that is hotter than it is as of today, which is tomorrow, 75. So that's 1, right? And then for 75, one is the next day that is hotter than 75, right? So it goes all the way to 76. So that's 4, right? So we get the gist of the question here, what they're trying to ask is, right? Important thing to note is if there isn't any day that's hotter, we just keep it at 0. So for example, mm, after 76, 73 is not hotter than 76, so it's 0. And 73, there's no day after that, right? So there's no day hotter than 73 at this last index, so it is 0, right? So I'm going to walk through the explanation while I type the code. uh, yeah, let's get started. So if temperatures is empty, basically we just return an array, right? This is just for performance check reason. We probably don't have to do it because we can assume that we are going to be given an array of integer, but it's just a habit that I just do for fast performance check. So uh, let's create our output array here called results, and just going to fill it with a bunch of zeros. So the reason why I choose to do this is because, like, if there are days that are uh, there are no day hotter than it is today, we have to fill it with 0. So I don't want to have to deal with like appending 0 and stuff like that, so I can just fill it with all bunch of zeros first. So I'll demonstrate why this is useful and how it works later on. And I think we need to keep track on the days, right? On like which day is hotter and stuff like that. So just a holder, I'm just going to call an index here. And yeah, I think we can start to loop this index temperature in temperatures enumerated. It's just a for loop, and here I'm going to check if indexes is empty or not, right? If it's not empty and the temperatures, this temperatures array, and we're going to take the last index here, is less than the temperature, right? So what this does is we can think of these indexes as a uh, functions like a stack, right? We first in and then last out, right? That's what we want to do. So we're going to keep track of that. And this while loop, what it does is basically we are finding the next hottest day. So temperatures of the last index that we are finding, is it cooler than today's temperature? Which means, in other words, that in this current loop here, this temperature is hotter than our previous day, because index is storing the days of the previous loop, right? So here I'm just gonna put this here, maybe it's clearer. And then here, if it is cooler, then what we're going to do is previous index. We're going to pop this out of indexes, remove less, and then let's get the difference, which is index and previous index. And then here we are going to get results of previous index equals to this, right? And then that's about it, I guess. That's all we have to do, right? So just to explain even further here, at each iteration we are storing the index. The reason why is like we are not interested in the temperature, right? We are interested in how long does it take for us to find the next day that is hotter than it is today, right? So imagine here the first loop, right, 73. Indexes is empty because it's the start of the loop. So we fill it in, we take the current index, which is 0, inside indexes here. And then the next loop, which is at 74. At 74, we ask, is indexes empty? No, it's not, because it has 73 at index 0, right? We're storing 0, right? So we take temperatures at index 0, right? So is 73 less than 74? It is, right? So we have found a day that is hotter than what we stored in our indexes, right? So we calculate here, and then we just fill it up inside the results array. So as you can see here, because there's 0 here, what it does is when it reaches to 76 and 73, there's no further operation that I need to do, right? Because there's no day that's hotter than that, and it's by default already 0. Uh, so yeah, that is how I'm trying to solve this problem. Let's go ahead and run this code and make sure I get the right answer. And there I have it. Let's try and submit this. There we go. That's the answer. Yeah, so basically, yeah, the indexes is functioning like a stack. Like we're trying to keep track of the previous days, and this loop is just essentially trying to check uh, is there any day hotter in the current for loop, right? If it is, then we calculate the difference. The index here represents the day, right? And then once we found that, we just fill it inside update our results array at that particular index, and that's it. That's the answer. So as always, if you guys find this kind of video helpful, please feel free to subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'll try my best to keep posting more videos. So thank you very much for your time. Take care.